I don't know if this is recording. It is recording, right? Sorry about that, guys. It cut off. I don't know why. I don't think I have enough memory, but let's see if it. Let's keep this going. Let's keep this shit going.
Now, so would you think the woman should just go, I don't give a shit about your stupid feeling and bounce? Or should she,
what
or
is the reason?
There's no reason. There's no reason. I got bad feeling. Bad feeling.
This is the thing.
That doesn't make sense.
Wait, look at the key.
A bad feeling.
Listen, my sister, this is the key. When you say, I don't know, I just got a bad feeling. Let me tell you how that is get translated into my head. He cares about me, and he's actually thinking about something that potentially could be happening that I'm not aware of. I love him for thinking outside the box. But you've reassured me. You've shown me respect for being able to make my own decision. Yeah, and that's all it takes. That's all a girl wants to hear.
But
I'm sorry, you need a logical reason as to why you're going to tell me
a feeling is not logical. A feeling is not logical.
Guys,
the whole point is like you're not. The whole point is a guy doesn't want to explain like every decision he makes.
And I don't want
a lot of times like men think things through a lot like more than we realize, and so he's already thought about it. He's already made his decision. It's a headache to him when every time he makes a decision he has to explain it to you.
That's right. And if you trust that man, and you've been with him as long as Auntie's been with her man, and he says something with the kind of relationship they have and the respect they have for each other, of course she's gonna be like, "Oh right, well cool, done." That's trust. That's trust.
I wasn't happy.
Of course. And also that's a really good point about submission, because submission is largely misunderstood. Like, I can tell you a million stories. I've had girls who are like, "Yeah, you're the man, you're in charge, and yeah, no problem." Yeah, she's cool on the jet, she's cool in Dubai, she's cool in the restaurants, she's cool in the 5-star, she's cool in the Lambo. But the second I say something that she half doesn't like, then she's like, well, you know what? Then she's a feminist, right? So women do this very well. A lot of women flip-flop. Like if you trust your man and you really want to be with him and you really want to submit to him, there's going to be times you're going to submit in ways you don't like. That's the whole point of it. There's going to be times you have to do things you don't want to do.
I've actually said this in the past. I respect you in the fact that you're willing to give a woman a life. You're willing to provide for her. So I respect that you can then tell her, I want you to do this, babe. And she has to live with it. But a lot of women, they want autonomy over themselves. Personally, I don't want a man that's going to provide for me just so he can tell me to sit down and I'm a dog and I'm going to sit down.
Let's understand
because I can make my own decisions too.
Let's understand something. Every man will give you a life. It's just a matter of whether you're happy with the life that man.
Not every man can afford it, though.
No, exactly. Every man will give you a life. It's just a matter of whether you're happy with the life that man is capable of giving. And this goes back into the earlier points we were saying. You can find a good man who will work his ass off and give you the best life he can possibly give you every ounce of strength inside of him. He'll give you all he has. You can get that. But if you're going to wake up and go, no, I don't want that life, I want that life. Well, then that comes with problems.
Yeah,
and this is the cognitive dissonance that most females operate under, where they sit and go, I want that life, but I want him to act like that guy. I want the Nissan and the McLaren. You can't have both.
What about
you need to decide. And there becomes a degree of female maturity. As you said earlier, you get to a point where you're like, you know what? Maybe all that glitz and glam and bullshit isn't worth it.
It's not worth it.
But you grow up, right?
Yeah.
And that's fantastic. And you make a different decision. And I'm saying that a lot of women get to that point. The problem is, in the modern world, the shit women did before they got to that point, from 19 to 24, pisses the man off to the point where he's never going to be as good as he could be. It's different in your world, right? You met a man, you stayed with that man, dig. I know plenty of people, first man, high school sweethearts. The world was different only 40, 50 years ago. The second man, they've been married forever, 50-year marriages, all that shit's gone. And then we have to tie back into all the other sub-points I've made, into you've had a very fun life at your peak sexual value from 19 to 24, running around doing X, Y, Z. Now you're with this guy who can't give you the life he knows you've already lived. Part of him feels inferior. His status is damaged because all the shit you did is on Instagram, and he ain't the one who gave it to you. And now you're expecting a whole bunch of crap out of him. And now, when he comes and works his ass off and manages to save up and buy a BMW and picks you up, hey, I got a BMW, you go, yeah, I like Mercedes. And this is the point you're missing. It's not about the fucking car. It's about something larger than that. It's about making him feel like he's a man again and that he's in charge.
A woman shouldn't have to make a man feel like a man.
You're sitting here going, I'm I'm an autonomous female. I can fucking like that. But what are you doing? You're damaging the psyche of the man who's trying to love you. Is it worth it?
But what do you mean by loving? Can we break it down? Can we break it down? Does loving mean that you listen to what I have to say and also think about what I want and not just what you want? Is that what loving means? If that's it, I can subscribe to that. But I'm not going to subscribe to sit down and you have to sit down.
It's not about that.
I'm a grown-ass woman. I pay my own bills and you're going to tell me what to do?
That's fine.
Triggered.
But it gets to a point where you have to sit and analyze the scenario you're in and try and realize and pick your battles. And I'm telling you, you may not realize it, but a man does a whole bunch of shit for you that you don't know. He's watching the shows you want to watch. He's listening to you talk gossip about the girls at work. He's fucking going, yeah, I like that dress. He doesn't give a fuck about any of it. He's doing it for you.
See, that's
but the second it's back the other way, you have some fucking issue with autonomy.
He's right. Listen, he's right, because women talk nonsense for a long time. And they say like, yeah, babe, you're right. Yeah, babe, can't believe she did that. It's true, babe. Oh, yeah, that show is good. Yeah, babe. Yeah, it's true. You become
I agree. Men do a lot, but women do a lot too. As much as if my man caters to me, I will do anything to make him happy. If he says, "Oh, babe,
where is he now?
I like this meal," I will make sure I can cook it for him, because guess what? He actually cares about what I want as well. You can't just have a one-way relationship.
Auntie's disillusioned.
I'm just saying. I'm just saying. If I was a woman and I had to make a man as attracted to me as possible, my goal would be to give that man status and make him feel good about himself. And I'd be very, very careful talking too much about life experiences or opposing views, not because he's out to oppress me, not because he's an evil, horrible person, but because he's trying to find somebody with a similar life view. He's trying to find somebody he can show the world to, trying to find somebody he can feel like he can teach things to. Mm-hmm. That's how you get the best out of a man. I'll tell you now how you get the best out of a man.
That's why I got Clementine.
No, but if you go into a man's room when he's playing video games, and he's playing video games, and you say, all you do is play video games, and you nag him, he'll play video games. If you walk in there and go, you know what, you're so smart, I've seen you do so many amazing things, and you said so many amazing things, why do you waste your time playing video games? You could show me so much. Now you're going to get him off the fucking console.
Yeah.
I know it's an ego play. I know your old girls are like, why should I have to do that? There's a lot of things.
Because it tells you look pretty in the morning.
It's because you win. It's because in the end you win. You talk about why should I have to do that? Well, why should you have to work hard in the gym to get six-pack? Because you win. That's the game. It's actually, men are so simple. We are so simple. And the truth is, women know it. This is what's amazing. Women pretend they're confused. You're not confused. You know. You're just egos are in the way, and society's telling you something else, and you just fucking refuse to be agreeable, nice people.
So, no,
and then
you
wonder why men have this fucking problem marrying.
Wait. I have a question. So I have a question for the girls. So imagine you're dating a guy, okay, and it's your birthday, and for your birthday he gets you, let's say, a $500 gift, okay, and you're happy, right? It's thoughtful, it's specific to you. Then you found out last year he got his ex-girlfriend an entire birthday party. How does that make you feel? He did the most. He rented out the nicest hotel in London. He got her everything she wanted the year before.
Me not care.
You don't care at all?
I don't really care. As long as he's making me happy.
Okay, you don't care.
We're different people too. Yeah. It's a different relationship, and maybe he bought her flowers every day, 365 days a year, and he didn't do that for me. It's like, well, if that's what makes her happy, he's going to do what makes her happy. Exactly. I mean, I get the angle. What you're saying is like, oh, he did all that for her. Why am I not good enough? But the second you compare yourself, you lose.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I agree. But I'm just saying that's how men look at like your past, is like basically like you've given it for free.
So here's my question to that, because all right, I love like everything we're talking about. Mm-hmm. Okay, so to all the viewers out there, including myself, right? You live life. There's gray area. You live and you fucking learn, right? So where the fuck do we go from here? So do I play the shame game where everybody walks away a fucking loser? Because I can do that. I beat myself up my entire life for every decision I've ever made, right? It got me nowhere. No. So I value myself. I see the world differently through a series of events, right? So what the fuck comes next? Because that's where I'm confused, right? Because I'm not, it's like, if it's not like gifted to you, like even in your situation, like your dad provided you a life that like so many people would kill for. Like, you know what I mean? So that's why it's like, it sucks, because the reason I hate these conversations is because it's never about like empathy. Do I understand the scales and how someone may view you for this, that, and the third? Okay, but moving forward, then what? So okay, so I'm just gonna, like I said, make it about myself. I'm 30, single, mom. My fucking checkered past is all over Instagram. You know what I mean? I have people like you. She's a hoe. She's this. She's literally known for this. Okay. So what would be your advice to people like me then?
But I don't believe in grey area. I believe black and white.
So okay, well, that's unfortunate, because there's gray.
You know what? I'll tell you what.
There's gray in life.
You know what?
To answer, wait, I'm going to answer. I mean, I just think there's consequences for your decisions, and I just think like my best advice would be to like lower your standards, like that, because I just think there's going to be consequences for putting, you know, for
you don't like the answer
on the internet.
Lower your standards. That's
you
it.
Probably won't get the type of guy that you could have got at 22.
Do you know what, sister?
It wasn't meant to be then.
Do you know what I'll tell you? I would say, because I'm 30 and I'm single out of a situation that actually is not because I was a hoe and I was doing whatever. People can't call me that. I made it by decision to be with somebody that hurt me a lot, and I stayed for 5 years. I came out super late. And do you know what I realized? What I learned is that I know now that I have to be selective and I have to think. If me taking longer to get to that stage is what it takes, then that's what it takes. You accept your future, you accept everything with gratitude, because as long as you're breathing, that's the most important thing. At least you've got your child. I am not afraid, because I know the quality of woman that I am. I know my value regardless of whether I'm 30, 40, 50. Yeah. Do you understand? So you don't be afraid by other people's time limits and limitations and all of these things, because it actually doesn't matter. And I'll tell you why.
No, but your value goes down as you get older.
No, that's according to you.
No, but I'm saying to men, and you have to understand your buyer.
I'll tell you why. Because since Mr. Andrew Tate explained something about status, I understand very well what that actually means. And as a woman, the quality and the value that I hold for myself is actually the kind of value and quality that a man will appreciate the status he'll bring to him, whether or not I'm a virgin. Because I've worked on myself to be a woman of quality and substance. I respect myself and I handle myself as such. Okay? And that is the way that you're going to actually overcome all of these bad mistakes that you've made, because who you are right now actually will make a difference if you stick to it and if you mean it and if you've always been that way. There's always another story for everybody. It doesn't matter. You'll be fine.
You know,
just like somebody that's more emotionally mature.
Do you know what I would have said to you?
What are you about to say, Andrew? Because you just started speaking out.
I want to say
Andrew. She said
Andrew. I want to hear. I really because you've been through a lot in your life. I like when she told me that you were going to be on and we were going to be on this panel together. I started watching a bunch of your videos, and it really was like there's so much that you have been through, which is why you have a well of wisdom, right? And the difference between me and you is that you're glorified for it, and I am burned at the stake for everything that I've been through. And it's so funny because people have always said that we were two sides of the same coin, as far as like, well, if Andrew Tate gets banned, Brittany Renner should get banned, because we are all about accountability and fucking truth, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so you've been through a lot, I've been through a lot. I'm seen as used goods, you're seen as a high value man.
Yeah.
So if you're me, then what? What's next?
Yeah, it's really interesting, and it's interesting you make that observation, and you are correct. That's the difference between the masculine and the feminine. It's unfair, I guess. The world's not fair, but that's the difference between the masculine and the feminine. Men are respected for going through things and surviving, and women are the complete opposite. They're shamed for going through things and surviving. If you look at women, love scars on men for a reason. He's gone through something.
They're war wounds.
Yeah, they're war wounds. Men don't want a chick covered in scars. I'll say this right now, that a woman, the more trauma she goes through, the more masculine she naturally becomes. And if you were to give me my ideal woman, I would not want her to have a hard life and a bunch of trauma. I like the idea of her having a soft feminine life and being a soft person, and I can take care of her and protect her. Whereas as a man, to be a good man, you need to have been through a bunch of trauma, because if you haven't been through trauma as a man, you're a weakling. You have to have been through a bunch of shit. So the masculine and the feminine is a very interesting point there. As for I don't know your history. I don't know the past, but we can just talk in generalizations in regards.
People like me, I guess, under the same umbrella. It doesn't have to be personal.
I don't know any of it, but we'll give generalizations. One of the main reasons that men are scared of a female with history is because it makes the man insecure, and scared dogs bite. So this is why men will snap or get angry quick, or they'll bring up if you get in an argument with him, he'll bring up your history, whatever. But a lot of it is insecurity, and it's not insecurity because the man is insecure. The female paradigm in society convinces men, any man who says anything, you're insecure. It's not insecure in that way. It's insecure in a very realistic, logical way. Like I was saying earlier, she's had a lot of life experience. let's be honest. Am I the richest guy she's ever had? No. Am I the most famous guy she's ever had? No. Am I the best looking guy she's ever had? No. Like, what's keeping her here? And then part of it comes down to, well, am I second place? If she could do better, would she do better? Like, there's a whole bunch of insecurity involved. And that's where tiny things, like I'm talking, I know it sounds like dumb shit, tiny things about a favorite car brand become more important than ever, right? It's your job as a woman, regardless of how much sexual history you've had or what guy you're with, etc. It's your job as a woman to make your man feel secure in the fact and make him feel like a man, like Auntie was saying, make him feel like the man no matter what he does, so that he feels like you really truly believe he's the best choice for you on the planet. That's your job to do. Now, if you've had a checkered past, that's perhaps more difficult. You need to be more tactful with it, more tactical about it. But you have to achieve the same result. You have to do the exact same thing, right? So, yeah, it's easy for me if I get a 21-year-old virgin from some village in Slovakia and I'm multi-millionaire Andrew Tate. Of course, it's a very easy. She's never had better. She'll never get better. She's never been anywhere. Boom, boom, easy one, right? But like you said, the world's not so idealistic. The reality is that people
there's easy ones
et cetera, et cetera.
for females and easy ones for guys.
Happiest in the relationship when he feels like man of the house and when he truly feels like you believe he's the best man that you could possibly ever get and have ever gotten. Because a man is jealous. I'll tell you something. I used to say this to girls as like a joke. And I used to say, I say it's a joke. So you cheated on me before I met you. And she'd be like, what do you mean? I didn't even know you. It's like, yeah, you fucked that guy before I even knew you. You cheated on me. And they used to laugh, whatever. But that's how men think. That's the male mind. Like, I love you. And you've been fucked by who? But I didn't know you. I don't care if you knew me. You should have waited. What do you mean? But that's the male mind. So he is in competition with all of your exes and all of your lifestyle and all the things you've done permanently. And it's down to you as a woman to sit there and go, how do I make him secure in himself and secure in his masculinity and make him believe that investing in me is still worthwhile because I still truly value him, despite the fact that I could do X, Y, Z. I hope that gives some clarity, but that's the answer.
You know what I would have said? I would have said, for anybody in that situation, come off social media and just raise your child. So the person who meets you's got nothing to... But I never knew you. I never knew who you were because I've never heard of you before. So when I spoke to you, by the way you're saying like what's on the internet, let me just say, you're a nicer person than what you sound like what you perceive to be. Mm-hmm. Like you were saying, that Pearl's got, there, she's a whore, and I've heard the name, but I don't know anything about you. And I was saying that if you didn't have nothing on social media about your checkered past, and you met somebody the same way how I met you and I conversed and I got to know you, is the same way that they would.
Yeah, and it is interesting, and it's also back to the masculine and feminine, right? Because I'm all over the internet, and supposedly I'm misogynist and I'm evil and all this crap, right? But if I meet a girl, even if she disagrees with me, in fact, I'll say this, I've never ever met a single female who's ever come up to me and disagreed with me. Every woman comes up to me and loves what I said. But let's imagine I met this imaginary girl, she was sitting with me. And if I were to have a 10-minute conversation with her, by the time I explained the level to which they tried to destroy me, how they tried to freeze all my bank accounts, raise illegal charges against me, put me in jail for things I didn't do, put a travel ban, take my passport, all this garbage. By the time I explain how hard they tried to hurt me and failed, she'll want me. Because she'll be like, you can't kill this guy. And that's going to be it. Like, you say a bunch of shit I don't like, but you know what? You're the man. So it is about experience, and it is different. And that's a really good point about social media. Social media amplifies all of this shit. It amplifies all these problems. Everything we're discussing, everything we've discussed back to the beginning, from status to promiscuity to your past, it's all social media. Without social media, a lot of it goes away.
Yeah. And I think that's why me and my man last so long, is that he doesn't do social media, and there's nothing on there about me.
I feel like, to answer your question too, because I have had people say that as a solution. And it's like, you can run, but you cannot hide from the truth. Mm-hmm. And I have shared why my voice has been so impactful and will continue to be impactful is because I have put myself out there and I have been punished for being honest. So it's like, I have been given a platform and a voice for a reason. Even sitting down in this conversation thinking there's not one person I'm probably going to agree with and probably going to want to leave. Mm-hmm. I have been called here for a reason. So it's like, I can't go against what is in my heart and what I am coded to be.
Pretty much, you're not going to convince me, and you're not going to convince you.
Here and represent people who feel like me, because it's like,
we're going to go in circles.
I don't want to say I didn't choose. I don't even want to say that. I just feel like I don't see a lot of women under my umbrella who feel the way that I feel. I don't see opinions shared that would be worded the way that I feel. Nothing. I feel like a lot of my thoughts are very unique, and it's kind of scary because I have been through different things. I see the world in a different place, and when I even speak online, people think I'm fucking speaking Swahili.
Yeah.
So it's like,
and I know exactly what you're saying, and you're making good points, and it's just, I think that regardless of whether, like, we're talking about different positions. I compare everything to chess. I know it's annoying. We're looking at different positions on the chessboard, but the rules are still the same, right?
Okay.
No matter how bad your position is or how good your position is, you're still trying to achieve the same objectives. And you want the man to get high status.
We're all trying to achieve the same objective.
Secure in himself. And I think it's very difficult. I can only talk from the male perspective because I am a man. It is very difficult. If I were to meet a woman who I liked very much, but she had X whatever, past whatever. My concerns would be, how do I know that I'm still the number one? How do I know I'm most important in her life, especially if I don't measure up in certain key metrics? And two, the second thing that's most scary for men is we understand that men are constantly after what we have. Like, your inboxes are all full. Like, they may not be with guys you want to reply to, but guys are still trying to get it. That's the male life. The male life is people are trying to take everything from me. And that's very scary. And you have to make your man really believe like that's impossible. If a man truly believes that nobody can take you from him, he's going to love you in a different way. You can give me 2 carbon copies of the same chick, but one I think might cheat in the right circumstances, and one I know no matter what would never leave me. The love I'll feel for this one is a different planet to the love I feel for this one, even though they're the same person, right? Because that's every man's biggest fear, is a woman cheating or leaving. Because there's something visceral and something different about it. I know I talk things and I say men can do things and women can't and all this stuff. But like, if a woman cheats on a man, that hurts the man at a level that it doesn't hurt the woman if the man cheats on her. It's different. It's different biologically. It's different evolutionarily. Like, that's what men used to fight and die over. You talk to my chick. You look at my chick.
Dick off.
Yeah, it's like you demasculinize him on every level. Like, and this is why you see these TikToks, right? You see these TikToks. Me and my man went on a break, got back together. He fucked 20 girls, and now he's crying because I went on a date. Yes, completely yes. Because the damage level is different. It's just a different thing. So you have to understand the paradigms. You have to understand to play the game. And that's how you make men happy. And I know very well how I like to believe that I would know very well how to make a woman happy. And I know, and whether I do that or not is a conscious decision. And that's where you get to a certain level of grandmastery, where if I get a woman, I will literally decide out of 10, how happy do I want her? Does she deserve to be happy 10? Or should I keep her like crying half the time? That it's very conscious. And women don't think that way. But I'm saying, if you're a cutting woman, you could be like that. You could be a bit more like, you know what? I want him infatuated with me. This guy ain't worth the time. That guy I want. And then when you're going to do that, just like the game of chess, if you play chess, it's not big moves that make you lose. It's small positional plays. It's that time you argued about your favorite car. It's the time you disagreed with him about the favorite band. It's the dumb shit that adds up. Whereas really, truthfully, if you're truly smart about the game, you can get him to a point after a few months where he's like, she's my soulmate. She loves everything I love. We think the same. Our hearts are connected. Boom. And then you're safe. Just don't fuck it up from there.
But I just feel like it's so contradicting. What your overall message is, which is about truth. So it's like, if my truth, like, if it can be destroyed, you feel like got you in trouble. It should be destroyed by the truth. So that's what I'm trying to figure out. Like, why? It's really mind-boggling to me, because I feel like, how could you even be mentally, emotionally, sexually stimulated by a woman who is just agreeable, and it doesn't have her own mind. I just don't see that.
That is exactly what every man wants. We don't want you to be complete robots. We're not saying we can't have a joke with you. We can't say we can't have a laugh with you. We're not saying you can't have a personality. But when it comes to things like agreement, there is not a single man in the world who's going to say, she's too agreeable. She just agrees with me on it. She agrees with me on all the important things in my life. She's too agreeable. I want someone else. Fuck no. You're completely and utterly wrong on that point. It's a huge point. This idea that, I understand if you're a complete doormat and you set no standards, men might walk all over you. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about agreeability and agreeableness as a whole. Men love the idea of an agreeable woman because it gives status, and it makes the man feel like he's a teacher, and it makes the man feel in charge, and it satisfies his ego. And to you, they may be small, little, tiny points, but to him, they're a big deal. If I were to sit, I'm telling you right now, if I were to sit with one of my chicks or whatever, or my chick, and I'll just sit in the Lambo and say, Lambo's the best car of all of them. I prefer the Lambo. And she goes, I don't like that one. I'm like, listen, I bought them all, and I fucking said this is the best one. Shut up. And it would annoy me because that's my reality. I want her to become part of my reality. It's the thing. And you talk about truth. It's interesting because the truth of your heart and the truth of your soul is to be happy. That's truth. Truth is for you to end up happy. Now, if you have to sit there and agree on a especially on a subject you don't give a fuck about, right? If it's something you care about and you are very knowledgeable about, if it's ancient Roman history and you have a degree in ancient Rome, then fine, argue the point. But if it's cars or something you don't even give a shit about,
Make it easy.
You're missing the chance to get points on the scoreboard, an easy free throw, and you're just fucking it up, going, no. Why? What? The truth is just play the game and win. That's the truth.
Andrew could be the best female dating.
Or just learn a couple of words like how many torques, horsepower.
Yeah, just
throw some words in like how much horsepower has it got.
That's it.
Tate, with all due respect, not all men are like that. Some men respect a woman that has her own mind. I know you and the type of men
Because they're trying to get laid.
Speaking on behalf of.
Let me tell you something.
Because they're trying to get laid.
I understand.
Will just be so agreeable to everything he says. But I've dated men that just respect that I can make decisions.
Where are they now?
Submissive women have their own mind.
Yeah, completely. That's the first
there's
point.
sometimes that he might be discussing stuff that he might want to be discussed, and there's sometimes we're like, shut the fuck up and let me say what I've got to say.
Yes,
completely. And maybe I don't even believe in star signs, but my man's Sagittarius, so all this illogical stuff and feelings and emotions, and no, you don't cry about shit. Shut up, get on with it. Your head's big, get on with it.
Completely. And submissive women have their own mind, but this is something else you have to take into consideration, and this is super important, super true. The reason a lot of women don't truly understand a lot of things about relationships and how it works with men, etc., is because men will lie to you. Mm-hmm. Men lie for the same reason you wear makeup, because men fall in love with what they see, men fall in love with what they see, and women fall in love with what they hear. So we will lie to you. So you'll go on a date with a guy, and you'll sit there and say, I don't listen to I'm independent, da-da-da. And what's that man going to say?
Oh, I love that.
That's exactly the kind of woman I want. Come suck this. It's a fucking lie. That is not what he wants. It's not what he wants. I'm telling you the truth of now. Yeah, he can't be bothered to argue with you at dinner because he doesn't. And you know what? Most men aren't smooth enough to do it. I can sit with a chick and disagree with her and be funny enough and smart enough and charismatic enough and I'm high status enough and she respects me enough to listen. But if I'm just some normal dude and I start arguing with a chick, she's going to bounce on the dinner and say, fuck you.
Yeah.
See ya. So most dudes' dating strategy, most dudes' mating strategy is
I gotta
pure agreement.
rewind this. I don't know what he said.
Yeah. Anything to get the puss because they're fucking dorks.
But your head's big. Get on with it.
Completely. And submissive women have their own mind. But
I gotta hear this again.
Take into consideration, and this is super important.
It's important too.
The reason a lot of women don't truly understand a lot of things about relationships and how it works with men, etc.
So what I gotta say is this here: you could learn like counter surveillance and counter information. You could learn a lot from this. That's why listening to people, you can learn from anything. You know, like you could just counter surveillance, counter recon. That's what it is. You could learn like a lot from this. Like this guy's telling us, even though he's talking to the woman, you could actually learn from this as a man too, and connect dots. Like for example, you could actually freaking value yourself as a man more because you value yourself more because he's saying like you gotta be top because I don't know, watch.
Because men will lie to you. Men lie for the same reason you wear makeup, because men fall in love with what they see.
It's important.
Men fall in love with what they see, and women fall in love with what they hear. So we will lie to you. So you'll go on a date with a guy, and you'll sit there and say, I don't listen to I'm independent, da-da-da. And what's that man going to say?
Oh, I love that.
That's exactly the kind of woman I want. Come suck this. It's a fucking
that's true.
lie. That is not what he wants. It's not what he wants. I'm telling you the truth of what he wants. Yeah, he can't be bothered to argue with you at dinner. Because he doesn't, and you know what? Most men aren't smooth enough to do it. I can sit with a chick and disagree with her and be funny enough and smart enough and charismatic enough and I'm high status enough and she respects me enough to listen. But if I'm just some normal dude and I start arguing with a chick, she's going to bounce on the dinner and say, fuck you.
Yeah.
See ya. So most dudes' dating strategy, most dudes' mating strategy is just pure agreement. Yeah. Anything to get the puss because they're fucking dorks. That's fine. That's the truth, right? A real G will sit there and say, what do you mean? I don't want to hear this shit. I'm telling you the baseline of how men truly function. If I'm expected to fight and die to protect you, because that's what is expected of me by society and of you. You may think you don't expect that of me, but if we're walking down through London in the middle of the night and two guys come up with machetes, you're going to hide behind me, knowing I'm going to die because I can't win this fight. I'm expected to die to protect you. Well, then I expect you to agree with me. I'm not here to fucking die for somebody who disagrees with me on everything. That's not what I'm here to fucking... If I have that obligation to die on the spot for you, you have the obligation to pretend you like BMWs. So do your fucking part and shut up. And that's the bottom line of it.
And you know the difference is, the only difference, like he's top G, and I was like, the only difference between him and my man and the level of respect is money. That's the only difference. And this is the same way he talks, the same way he is.
I don't listen to my man.
But people say like, oh, my man only owns 40,000, so he can't talk to me the way Andrew Tate talks to his. Why not?
Completely.
And I think money is a big factor there.
No, it's not. In a beautiful relationship.
You can't have a woman that's paying her own bills. She's doing everything for herself.
Yeah, because we don't get those women.
And then you're going to tell her,
of course, but I'm saying,
do this. But you
leave them single.
Do you not work on
for the streets.
You take all that stress away
She's
from
for the streets.
Then she'll be a lot more.
Why does money have to matter for submission?
That's what I mean. I don't work. If you have enough money to make sure that she doesn't need to work, go and deal with her boss every day, all this stress, all these bills, then of course she's going to look up to you and be like, okay, he pays my bills. You know,
my man must own about 40,000. I don't work.
I'm like, I grew up in a 1% family. I never expected a dude to pay for everything. I don't know.
I don't.
But I still think like, and I just like both of my parents worked, but my mom still submitted to my dad. Like it wasn't.
The point is this: in every relationship that's beautiful, every relationship that's happy, regardless of the socioeconomic scale, regardless of how rich or poor they are, regardless of how famous they are, regardless of how whatever. Every relationship where people are truly happy, pay attention. The man is in charge. He's the top G of that house. His woman makes him feel that way. She respects him for what he does, and they are happy. We're talking about me out here in the world, social media, whatever. It doesn't matter. Every man wants to be the man of his household, the king of his castle. Every single happy relationship is the same. I genuinely implore you to name a happy relationship where the woman's in charge. Name one. You can't. They end up broken up. She leaves him. Whatever. Name a happy relationship where the woman doesn't blindly say, okay, I won't go to that concert. Name one. There's only one framework in which people are happy, with the man in charge, the woman trusts and respects him enough to let him be in charge, and they're a happy couple in relationship. Any other type of relationship is a time bomb to the end. So if you want a happy relationship, that's what you should be aiming for. You need to be perspicacious enough and think about these things and sit and go, well, that's the only way relationships work, so I need to build it that way.
I think
instead of coming along and believing you're going to reinvent the wheel.
Okay, so I want to I want to hit one more topic because we're running out of time. So I want to actually give the ladies a chance to say, what do you guys disagree with from the red pill and men-centric content?
Can I go first?
No.
I'm submissive though.
No, Brittany can go first.
I'm not really familiar with all of the topics. I'm assuming like the stuff that you guys talk about are considered the red pill. It's not even like about like disagreeing. I think I can respect someone's point of view and understand where that truth exists for a lot of people. And I just feel like, okay, cool. Like, I don't know. I don't really disagree. It's just a perspective on life. I'm not here to be like, you're wrong for thinking like that. You're wrong for categorizing, using this scale, using that. Like, it's a perspective. It's valid. And I totally see certain angles. Like, there's a lot of stuff that was said that, I mean, there's so many people on this panel. It's hard to talk, but it's like, there's a lot of things I said, okay, maybe I don't agree with just because, again, my walk of life and what I've seen and how I feel and how I choose to be empathetic towards people, regardless of whatever they've been through. But I don't really...
So it's more, for you, it's the lack of empathy sometimes.
Yeah, I think that's probably it.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm going to let Esther go.
You're punishing me, yeah? No worries, we'll talk.
See, what I don't really agree with is the incel culture of men feeling like they're entitled to a woman. A lot of men don't look good. They don't got money. They don't do anything for themselves,
but you wear makeup.
And they expect women to want to have sex with them, women to want to be with them. Why should she want to be with you?
Let me ask you a very important...
Why?
Let me ask you a very important question.
Why are you wearing makeup?
Those delusional men, do they sleep with women?
Of course not.
Okay.
But they get angry. You see them in Pearl's comments. Oh, she's a modern woman. It's like, no, she doesn't want you because you are a lowlife. Get over it. Go work. Go to the gym. Go work on yourself. Go out and get a job.
That's going to be said to you when you hit the wall.
They just cry about it.
That's what most of the men-centric content tells guys to do. Go to the gym, get your money up.
Yeah.
Learn games.
When you hit the wall, we're going to say that shit to you too.
Oh, women are delusional. Oh, women want this. Why? No. Women know what they want. If you want those women, go and do what they want. And then you'll be chosen.
You don't have to worry about the men that aren't getting laid and all the women are ignoring. Okay, yeah, YouTube comments, but besides YouTube comments, they have no voice in society and they don't exist and nobody gives a shit, right? So this is what I was saying earlier about reality slaps men in the face and shows them their place very quickly, because all these men, reality is showing them their place. There are women who are disagreeable and unlikable and doing wrong things and acting badly and fucking up how to make a man attracted to them, and they're not being slapped in the face by reality because they're still ending up with a partner. So this is the point we're trying to make here. I agree. I know what you're saying about Red Pill. There's a whole bunch of bitter, hate-filled guys. I agree with that.
Yes. Can I just drop another comment? When I came on your show, they were in my DMs. I'm thinking, do you not have things to do with your life? Like the fact that you sit on Pearl's little comments and then come into my social media and then slide in my DMs. Like, you really have nothing to do with your life.
Were they hitting on you? Or were they like...
Oh, no, they were calling me a misandrist.
Some girls get hit on even after they insult.
Oh, no, they were calling me a misandrist because of the fact that we just don't want you. Like, get over it.
Well, that's just the internet, though. Like, I get death threats. I get, like, people insult me.
Yeah, but
people
it's
make
not
videos.
good enough.
I just think, like, you go on the internet, duh. Like, yeah, you're going to get insulted on the internet.
Who hasn't been insulted?
But it's obviously, it's quite hard, especially when you're receiving a lot of hate from all these men.
I mean, I get it. I've had
Turn off your
hundreds
computer.
of videos made on TikTok like that go after my appearance. It happens to me like every
Pearl,
single day.
you called a girl a
she's
whale.
a Pisces. She's a Pisces.
Pearl, you called somebody a whale. That is a big insult.
I called her a whale after she
attacked, might save her life.
After she attacked me.
Might
she
save her life.
Mic out of my hand. She called me a slag. I didn't know what that meant at the time. Okay, I had no idea what that meant. She called me a slag, put the mic out of my hand. So of course I'm gonna call her a whale. You attacked me first. That's what they never talk about. You got called a whale because you attacked me.
I missed a good episode, it sounds like.
It was a straight interview. And this girl, she like knocks the mic out of my hand and they're pulling her back. You slag. And I was like, you're effing whale.
Drunken females.
But it was like that was a response. I've never called someone on my show a whale individually.
But when I came on your show, you were quite rude to me. I'm not gonna lie. No, I'm not gonna lie. The way you conduct your show today was great. Today was great. But when I was on your show last time, you were like, why you talk too much? I'm thinking, who is this woman talking to me like that? I'm not a child. But that's the thing.
Because you kept interrupting everybody the whole show. That's what happened.
Yeah.
You kept
You're interrupting now.
Because I'm the host.
Yeah.
And so today it's like we have a big guest. I'm gonna let him talk. But and no offense, you're just a normal guest. And normal guests, we don't let dominate the entire conversation.
You garbage.
And wait, you probably talked 70% of the time.
You're not important.
And so I have to interrupt you and stop you because you're talking and nobody else in the room had a chance. And nobody else
You're doing
in the
it
room
now.
had a chance to talk. I understand I interrupt people, but that's part of your job.
She has
as
to.
host,
She's the
control
referee.
the conversation. And if anything,
The coach.
I probably control the conversation less than I should compared to most hosts.
No, but I think it's the way that you were rude. You could just be like, okay, let the next person talk. You were like, why you talk to me? That is so rude.
Because we had tried.
She explained it to you.
We had tried multiple times to tell you nicely. Multiple times to tell you nicely, and it just kept escalating.
That is not true. I think you're trying to gaslight me right now because that's not true. Okay. The thing is, you didn't agree with what I was saying, and then you resulted.
No, you're doing it right now.
Resulted to insults.
You're doing it right now.
That's the reason. That's the reason I would say. I'm not coming for you right now because you know what? It's your show. But what I'm trying to say is,
coming for us.
But
you are coming for us. No, just open your mouth. You are coming for us.
Listen. What I'm trying to say. What I'm trying to say is,
how was I rude to you? No, how was I rude to you? Why you call my name into it? How was I rude to you?
But you were rude.
How was I rude?
You were rude.
This is just my point of view. You told a story where you said you didn't say
you're too nice about it, Pearl. You're saying it too nice. Listen, right? You come on the show. You come on the show, right? I don't care right now because you come on the show.
On the streets. You calm down.
You come on here.
You sound like a hooligan. Please just slow down.
If I sound like a hooligan, don't tell me about calm down, right?
You're shouting at me. Why are you shouting at me?
Hang on. I heard Mr. Tate talking, right, with passion, right, and loud. I had no way to tell him to calm down, right? You're there shouting off your mouth, right? I am being loud. I am being loud. Don't tell me about calm down. Because when he was talking, who was you screeching at? Listen, right, as far as I'm concerned, don't even think about coming on Pearl's show and disrespecting her. You've done it already, and now you're coming back here to do it again. Pearl wasn't rude to you.
She was
right.
Pearl
wasn't rude to you.
Yes,
you know why? Because he spoke the truth, not your truth, not your truth. Because at the end of the day, it's all out there. If you don't know what a woman is, and you can't say what a woman is,
do you know you're actually a bully? You're actually a bully.
Bully? She's your elder.
Your age and your screaming at me. Calm down.
You can't do that. Don't come and say
That's your elder.
Have some manners, auntie. Like, what? I don't understand this.
Stop.
Manners.
Stop. Okay. All right, guys, let's take a second to hear from our channel sponsor. Identity theft can be a nightmare situation if it ever happens to you. One victim from San Francisco described her experience after losing her wallet at a bar. Apparently, I stole a Tesla. I got in a car accident with it. I got a new iPhone. I opened 2 new checking accounts and went on a bad check writing spree for as much as $13,000 at a time. I attempted to open dozens of new credit cards. I wrote a check for someone's bail, which is virtualshield.com/Pearly. That's www.virtualshield.com/Pearly and protect your identity today. Remember, supporting my sponsor supports this channel. Thank you guys again. I just think we're going to see that situation differently. I don't think I was rude to you. I actually think I was quite polite, but that's just my opinion. You think I was rude? Okay.
I was just trying to explain why the women came from.
To be fair, they called me racist and sexist on another podcast.
I said your followers were racist because they called me a degenerate Nigerian woman. Did they not? Did they not?
Okay.
Right.
You're talking shit.
So your disagreement. Okay, let's go back to the topic. Your disagreement with the red pill.
So the insult culture.
You don't like the bad comments. Okay.
No, not the bad comments. The fact that they just feel entitled. Okay. When women say what they want, they feel so entitled that women need to change that. It's like, no, women like what they like. Just like a man likes a woman that looks good, a woman that cooks, a woman that's younger. Like you said, someone that's not being traumatized.
But you demonize us for it.
Like, we don't cry about it, you know?
Yeah, you do.
You know what women do?
Yes, wait, I need to stop you there. Yes, we do. What is body positivity? What is slut shaming? We do cry about it, and we cry about it loud on every social media platform. We do.
Yeah.
But there's no. Wait, I'm just gonna give you an equivalent. There's no short man shaming. No, you don't hear the men crying about that.
Yeah.
Women
they cry about it.
No, they don't.
Yes, they do.
Do you see short men being pushed to be on the cover of magazines? Where they say we need more short men.
We're going overseas.
Short male models.
Oh, I see what you mean.
Where they're putting plus size women on the cover of magazines.
What the fuck? We're going overseas for this shit.
Which is average, actually. Like,
overseas, guys.
50% of men over 6 foot.
But I think everyone should be positive about what they have. Like, you know what? If you don't have money, like, own it. Be happy with yourself.
And
just because a woman doesn't want you, that's okay.
It's fine. I agree with you, but I'm saying, like, men have to deal with the consequences. Like, an average chick can still sleep with an NBA player. Who's like a top 10%.
They want.
Okay. I'll give you.
Brittany Renner, she's right there.
I've had guys on that level message me. I think I'm an average chick. I would never in my right mind think that any of them would take me like.
But you're rich.
But
Pearl, they want your money.
Men don't care about your money.
No.
They don't.
Some men do.
Pearl's not rich.
Well, she's from a rich background.
So
they're seeing like.
I'm saying men don't care about your money.
Some men do. Some do.
Bums care about your money. Okay, I personally don't like bums. That's just not my thing. That might be your thing.
Okay. You want a high value man.
I'm not saying high value. I'm saying I don't like guys that don't have jobs. Just
Can I just say something that's gonna shock everybody? I would like to hear what Dina's got to say.
Oh my days! You know how much I've been holding on to my seat. Like, when is it my turn to unleash everything that's in my head? Okay, cool. Question was again, sorry.
What do you disagree with from the red pill?
What I disagree with the red pill movement is the fact that it fails to understand that it has extreme limitations because you focus a lot on the extremities of things. And I will revert that back to me. I don't think the red pill addresses the fact that there were a lot of housewives that were left widowed quite young and therefore had no choice but to step up in transition into a strong and evolved modern woman. And I say that because my dad passed away when I was 12 and I didn't have a man in my life to be able to show me the way. Not only because there's really just not many men in my life, because my mom focused her energies and efforts into raising us and providing for us because she didn't have a man. And I don't think it would be fair to even expect my mom to, when we were 12, 13, 14, to go and find a new man, because actually that creates even more issues within the home for us to accept him, especially because we have a close relationship with my dad. With that said, what the red pill movement fails to address, empathize with, and look for solution is for all the women and the men that come from these sorts of homes where actually it is not your fault that you are a product of your environment. So when you're telling me about housewife, you're masculine, you this, that, I have to say, my mom raised 4 daughters on her own. By my age, the 4 of us moved freshly to the UK. Of course she's going to hustle. Of course I'm going to go through education. Of course I'm going to work. Of course I'm going to have to be strong with myself because there's no man to protect me. So because I've had this sort of background, I've had this sort of experience, people tell me your traumas make you less likable or maybe you're too masculine as a woman. No, I am a survivor of a woman actually because I didn't have men around me. And I am actually, again, also capable of being a wife. I know. I know how to actually speak to my man, please him verbally and physically.
Okay, so what's the
and I'll tell
so
you,
you're carrying trauma.
And I'll explain to you the submission side of things, where I've actually the whole show I've proved that
You're jaded. Who hurt you?
As much as you may even say that may not be desirable, no, if I come up with my own solution, I don't have to compromise who I am.
Who hurt you? Who hurt this lady? You hear? No, who hurt this lady and the other ones? You're like, oh, this and that. Dude, who hurt you? The funniest joke they make.
Cars I want, even though I like them, I'm like, you know what? I like them, but looking at yours, you're really nice too. You know, I really like you. You got good taste.
So you're jaded. So you bring in baggage. You're like, oh, because this happened to you, it's the new person's fault. What the fuck? You are jaded, faded.
It's that simple. What people
faded kid or
Jada there can be a compromise, because I've had to compromise my life as a woman to be able to survive because I didn't have a man around.
Okay, you think the red pill doesn't agree with? No, believe in compromise.
No, it doesn't deal with the victims of society, of situations that it's just life.
Okay. Do you have any points for them? Both of those.
Yeah, I can talk about the red pill. I can complain about it just too. I think there is. I to be fair, I do think there is a lot of angry, bitter men which are attracted to it. And those are the ones that will leave these stupid comments. My point was my point is that they're already being punished by God and by society, so don't worry about it. My point is that if a woman doesn't act correctly, she doesn't feel the true sting of punishment. Not in her prime years. She may feel it later, but in her prime years, it doesn't fucking even matter, which is why they do it. Whereas if a man doesn't have a shit in order, trust me,
that's it, yeah.
Because his reality sucks.
We both get punished. Yeah, they're not gonna get punished in the prime years. I'm not gonna get punished in my prime years because I'm gonna be top G, double G. You know what I'm saying? The wall's gonna hit hard.
And that's why he's sending you DMs, because he's lonely. Doesn't get a life, he wouldn't bother, right? So there's that part of it. It does attract a lot of angry, bitter people. I think that's because life's very difficult as a man, like we said earlier, and some of the men are angry and bitter. The answer to all things, I believe, whether you're a man or you're a woman, to try and heal all rifts between the genders, I think whether you're a man or you're a woman, the answer to all things in life is to take absolute and utter self-accountability for all the good and all the bad. You must look at yourself and realize that everything good that happened in your life is your fault, and everything bad that happens in your life is completely your fault. And with that, having that high degree of absolute accountability, it doesn't matter. Even if it rains outside, I blame myself, because I didn't have to be in London, right? I could have stayed in Dubai, and it wouldn't have rained. So I'm responsible for absolutely everything. And if you do that, you pay attention to things and you try your very best to mitigate the negative circumstances and work your hardest, you're going to have a pretty good life. I just want to finish by saying that I believe that men and women are best as a team. I don't think any woman will be truly happy without a man, and I certainly know that no man will be happy without a woman. I think it's absolutely beautiful when we work as couples and we create families and we stick to our strengths.
But with this division and divide,
and a woman sticks to what they're good at, that makes them the most powerful team on the planet. And the world we're living in now, we have societal pressures and propagandas which are trying very hard to divide and split the genders. But truthfully, the power and the beauty of the universe relies on us working together. So it's been very nice speaking to you, ladies. I'm only upset that you ran out of clementines and I'm stuck.
I was going to say, give this man an orange. And these are my limes. So
there's melon out there.
Oh, okay, we got melon. But yeah, all in all, I think it's good. And I also think that discussion is very, very important. And I think that a lot of these issues are delicate and are nuanced. And people listening to conversations like these and hearing the different points of view and understanding each other is a fantastic way to progress. And we're entering brand new territory, and it's never been done before. And perhaps you can call me old-fashioned. I don't think it's going to be as good as it was in the olden days, but we're going to find out. So interesting.
Okay, thank you guys all for coming. We'll do a little round of applause for the panel.
Yeah.
So why don't we go around, and any final thoughts, any social media you want to plug, you can do it now. So start here and then go around.
I mean, I'm good.
Okay.
You're right now, she is. I have more like a request. Is that okay? Could you say my name, please?
I can't pronounce it.
Dinalva. That's it.
Dinalva.
Top G. Dinalva and Andrew Tate. Sagittarius team representing. Okay. Follow me on the gram, dinalva.ao. He said the name, so you know it's legit. Yeah. Thank you, Pearl.
My final thoughts, with just reflecting on everything we've been speaking about, I just think men and women, we need to listen to each other. I picked up a lot on what Tate was saying about how women need to be a bit more agreeable, make their man feel like he's the only one. Agreed. But also, men need to listen to women as well. She needs to feel protected. She needs to feel like you're going to be there. You're not going to leave her for another woman. She needs to feel secured. Like, can we all just listen to each other and what we want in each other? And that's the only way we can strengthen the family unit. That's all I have to say. And please follow me, Esther, your Nigerian queen.
Auntie, you want to go and then you go?
See this lady. Are you okay, Auntie? You're right.
I'm cool. I just think that my final thought, when it's out there, it's out there. You said it. That's how I feel. And yes, we've all been through trauma. I'm sick of hearing about it. I don't mind if you've got trauma you don't know. But if you know you got trauma, sort it out. I don't want to hear about it. Call me like a empathy. No, just bullshit. You know you got trauma, sort it out. And
my turn.
Sometimes when people are talking, women need to listen. Sometimes women need to spend too much time talking. Because I'm sure that half of what Mr. Tate said was totally lost or mixed around or misunderstood. And I don't give a shit if anybody thinks I'm rude. This is why I'm, and if you don't like it, it's tough because I'm changing. My final thoughts.
Tell them to subscribe to your YouTube. She just hit 15,000. I made your YouTube channel.
Auntie Jenny, American spelling with the Y, Jenny, YouTube. Instagram is nothing on this. Don't go on Instagram.
Tell them about your call-in show.
Oh yeah, and I have a call-in show. And I'd like to have a call-in show. The next one, women can phone in and disagree with anything I've said. Anybody that wants to phone in and disagree, phone in live, disagree with me, I'll take it. Whatever you disagree with me on, I'm going to have a disagreement show. Phone up and disagree with me. Yeah, that's what I'm going to do, because I can do it. Because I'm a female OG. I learned that the other day.
Doesn't sound very agreeable.
I learned that the other day.
Andrew, do you have anything else you want to plug?
Yeah, my Instagram. Oh wait, I'm banned. my YouTube. Oh, I'm banned. My Facebook banned. I've got MySpace. Anyone got MySpace?
No,
you about to ban me. Find me on MySpace. No,
Rumble.
I'm on Rumble. Yeah, I was about to say I'm on Rumble, which is better than YouTube in every way. Sorry, YouTube. Rumble.com/tate-speech, and the website is corporatate.com. But most people tell me, listen, I can't avoid your face on Instagram or TikTok anyway, so it doesn't matter if I'm banned because I'm still around. But corporatate.com, I recommend to people, if you like what I say, I have a free email list. Sign up to the free email list. I send an email every single day about different topics. Some are for the guys, some are for the girls, but they're all on there.
Tate speech, I think.
Okay, thank you guys all for coming. Guys, like the video on your way out, subscribe to the channel, ring that notification bell. Make sure you sign up for our memberships, especially our second tier. If you want to see me freestyle rap, sign up for the second tier memberships. It's in the behind the scenes vlogs. Like the video on your way out, subscribe to the channel, and I'll talk to you guys next time.
Bye.
Well, that was fucking hard to fucking watch. I'm going to China soon. I'm going to Hawaii too, so I'll be gone for a while. So peace. That was so hard to watch, but yeah. Well, watch. I'm gonna do a breakdown on a reaction on Myron's from Fresh and Fit Cheyenne video, and there's a couple ones. There's one, the most important one I want to do breakdown on Jordan Peterson's video that she did with Channel 4 and stuff. Because there's a lot of lessons you can learn from that one too. All right, peace. Wait. I gotta make sure the other video is like already saved. This one's converting. So pause recording. Oh yeah, I got one more thing. Have two parts. This is the second part. The first part, I don't know, cut off for some reason. So I'm brand new to this like editing shit. I'm not a producer. I'm not an editor. I'm just a hardworking person. I have no help from anybody. So I'm doing this by myself. But fuck it, thug life. We're gonna do this shit together.